I literally read them because of the adaptation starring Tom Holland, and then the movie was not good. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Faith and thank you so much for watching. If you watched my video last week, you probably know that I have been experiencing a reading hangover. And at this point, honestly, I think it's safe to say that it's no longer a reading hangover, it is a full-on reading slump. I have not been in the mood to read literally anything. So today we're going to talk about some of my favorite books and series that I wish I could experience for the first time again, and hopefully talking about them will help get me out of my reading slump. And guys, we're just going to jump right into it, and in no particular order, first up we have the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness. I just gotta say, thank God I was obsessed with Tom Holland in high school, because him being in the movie adaptation of this book is how I found out that these books existed, and I love these books so much. And I think it's funny that I literally read them because of the adaptation starring Tom Holland, and then the movie was not good. The movie is easily the worst book to film adaptation I think I have ever seen in my entire life. If you didn't read the books because you didn't like the movie, guys, ignore the movie. These books are so good and you need to read them. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but I will say I did not expect the ending of this book, and I read it in my homeroom class at school, and I was holding back tears. And I remember getting in my car to drive home after school that day, and I cried thinking about what happened in this book. So I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say, prepare yourself. And I probably would not read the ending of this in a public place unless you're okay with crying in public. But seriously guys, I cannot recommend these books enough. If you haven't read them yet, you need to. You will not regret it. And then we have Jurassic Park, which is literally my favorite book of all time. And it's also my favorite movie of all time too. I truly just loved this book so much, and I've been obsessed with Jurassic Park literally like my entire life, so I have no idea why it took me until last year to actually read this book. I did actually start it like 3 or 4 years ago, and I got like 100 pages in and I never finished it, and I really just do not know why. I have been obsessed with dinosaurs literally my entire life, so obviously I love the fact that it's about dinosaurs. And I say it's about dinosaurs, but that is like fully surface level. This book is so much deeper than that. It's about the commercialization of science and the consequences of trying to play God, and guys, there's so much more than that, and it is just so good. And honestly, I think it's a very important message that most people do need to kind of learn about, and I do think it does it in a very entertaining and captivating way. So this is another one that if you have not read it yet, you need to. Also, if you haven't watched the movie because you're living under a rock or something, you need to watch the movie too, because it is so good. And then of course we have the Empyrean series. I do not care what anybody says about these books. I love them so much. Honestly, I was just gonna say Fourth Wing, but I'm like, no, I need to read every single one of these again for the first time. This book was just so good. I love dragons. I've always loved dragons, and for some reason this was like the first actual romantasy that I read with dragons, and it just, oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I know a ton of people did not like Iron Flame. I loved it. I feel like the most common complaint I see is about Violet being too back and forth with her feelings. Guys, I probably would have been the same way, I cannot lie. Cause like, yeah, I'm pissed at you, but you're Xaden Ryerson. But like, I'm pissed at you, but you're Xaden Ryerson, guys. I would try so hard to be mad, and then I'd be like, I literally cannot be mad at you because you're Xaden Ryerson. So no, I'm sorry. She was me in this book, guys. And again, I'm not gonna spoil it. As much as I don't like what happened at the end, it was such a shock to me that I just want to experience that for the first time again. Even though I was sitting in my chair crying my eyes out at the end, the thrill of reading that, I don't know. I just want to experience it again. And people were also hating on Onyx Storm. Guys, I don't care. I loved it. Again, just the emotions that I experienced while reading this book. It was so fun. Yes, also heartbreaking, because trust, I cried so much, but I just want to experience that again. And guys, I'm so excited for book 4 and 5. Even though she's saying a character we love is going to die in book 4, girl, no. I love Colonel Atos, guys. I love him so much. Rebecca, please don't kill him. And again, I literally do not care what anybody else says. I love these books. And then we have Binding 13 and Keeping 13. Do not get me wrong, I love the entire series, but these two books are just on another level for me. These books are seriously just a complete emotional roller coaster, and again, it's just about experiencing those emotions for the first time. These books are heartbreaking, but then they also put your heart back together, and it is just an experience. Also, Johnny and Shannon are literally just the cutest couple. They are perfect for each other. Also, sorry guys, there's apparently a rumor going around that Johnny is going to cheat on Shannon in one of the future books. I absolutely refuse. I'm not even kidding. If that happens, I will not read the rest of the series. I do not care. That is so unrealistic. And Chloe Walsh, if you write that, you do not know your characters, because Johnny Kavanaugh would never. He wouldn't even dream about that. No. I refuse. Johnny and Shannon are just so cute and I adore them. So again, while I love the entire Boys of Thomas series, these two books are just on a whole other level. And then we have a book that I talk about in the majority of my videos, The Deal. I love every single off-campus book. Literally every single book in the series is a 5 stars, but this book is just 10 stars, guys. Garrett Graham is tied as my #1 book boyfriend of all time. This book is what made me fall in love with hockey romance books, and I have read dozens since, and this is still at #1. Guys, low-key, I have to admit, it might be tied for first place, which I'll get into in a moment, but that is still #1 nonetheless. This book is just absolute perfection for me, guys. But I have to admit, I am a little bit scared because the TV show adaptation is allegedly coming out this year, and I'm really worried that it's not going to live up to the book. And to be honest, the movies and TV shows rarely do, but I just know that they've already changed so much, and I'm just really worried that they're going to change too much and it's not going to be nearly as good. Because, like, let's be real, would it ever be as good as this, as I just called it absolute perfection? Probably not. But I'm really worried that it's gonna be too far from the book and completely ruin the show. But I don't want to say anything about that yet because obviously it hasn't come out yet. So I guess I will wait to judge that until it actually does come out and we actually do get to see it. But still, I am a little scared just with how much they have already changed already. But regardless of whether I like the show or not, I will always absolutely love this book. I read this book a few years ago now, and not a single hockey book has lived up to it since. Until I read Face Off by Chelsea Curto. Guys, this is the book that is tied with The Deal as my favorite hockey romance of all time. And Maverick Miller is also the man that is tied with Garrett Graham as my #1 book boyfriend of all time. I just absolutely love this book, and Chelsea Curto is also now one of my absolute favorite authors ever. The writing is incredible. Maverick Miller, ladies and gentlemen, is incredible. And just like with Off Campus, every single book in the DC Star series is a 5 stars for me. This one is just on another level. Another book that is absolute peak perfection. I think another reason that I love this one so much is because Emmy is an athlete herself and she actually plays in the NHL. I was an athlete for most of my life, obviously not like professional level, but I just love seeing female athletes be represented in books. And often in real life, female athletes from pretty much any sport are masculinized, and that just didn't happen in this book. To me, it didn't feel like it did, and I loved that. She's a baddie athlete. Does that mean that she's a man? No. I just loved this book and I would love to experience it for the first time again. Also, I don't know how well you can see it, but this is signed from Scribbles Bookshop. So I have a signed copy of Face Off by Chelsea Curto. And you guys should all check out Scribbles Bookshop because they are a signed copies only romance bookstore, and that is where I've gotten every single one of my Chelsea Curto books. And guys, I'll be honest, I would like to read pretty much every single one of my 5-star reads again for the first time, but those ones are like the ultimate. I need to read them again for the first time, but sadly I will never be able to. And low-key, just sitting here talking about my favorite books did kind of help with that reading slump mindset. Like, I kind of want to go read right after I finish filming. So while that thought is still in my brain, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to you guys. So that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow my Instagram and my TikTok, which are in the description below for more bookish content. I hope you guys aren't experiencing a reading slump, and if you are, just talk about your favorite books because that really did just help a lot. Love you guys. Bye!